Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I'm Summer Deep with Summer Sweet Shop, and I'm super excited to talk to you more about cookie classes today and to know, are you ready to start teaching cookie classes? Well, there's a spoiler alert. You are probably ready to teach, but you may not feel like it yet. So let's dive into it. And I want you, this video is for those of you who think that maybe you aren't qualified to teach cookie classes, or you've got a lot of fears and thoughts wrapped up into that. And so we're going to talk about that today. And I'm going to tell you, before I started teaching classes, I had a lot of fears and worries about teaching a class. Number one, I thought I am not qualified to teach cookie classes. I am not the best cookie decorator out there. There are lots of people who are way more talented than I am. And I thought, are people even going to come to my class? Am I even going to get people to buy a ticket to come to my class? And then I thought, well, what if I don't even like teaching? How do I know if I'm even going to like teaching a class? And then I thought, well, what if people come to my class and they sign up and they start start decorating their own cookies, and then I have no custom cookies customers, right? Silly. But I want you to know, if you've had any of those thoughts and fears, you're not alone. Absolutely not alone. When I did finally say, I'm not going to listen to those fears, I'm going to do this, I'm going to teach a class, I stumbled through the whole thing. Even though I said I'm ready to teach a class, I really wasn't ready. I stumbled on things. I forgot things. I forgot to tell them. I forgot supplies for them. I still did not know what I was doing. But the great thing was, my students didn't care that it wasn't perfect. They didn't sign up for that class for the most perfect, put together, super amazing cookie decorating class, right? They came for a fun experience. They came to have fun. They came to decorate some cookies. They came to hang out, right? To socialize. They were not there to create these amazing masterpieces, right? And I, as the cookier, obviously could tell you all the mistakes that I made on those cookie sets. But those students didn't care about those mistakes. They wanted to learn something new. They wanted to have fun. They were focused on the experience. And so I knew that that's what I had to focus on. Cookies were fun. I can show you how to decorate this cookie, but I want to give you a great experience, because in the end of the day, that is when you are going to be able to build that customer list and have that customer not only share about this great experience that they had and give you a great review and testimonial and word of mouth, but they're also going to come back over and over again to your class because they had such a great experience. So let's talk about some of those fears that might be holding you back. I just mentioned a few of them that were mine when I got started. A fear that I'm not good enough. A fear that no one's going to come to my class. That my ticket sales are just not going to happen, right? Everybody has those types of fears. And the fear of, what if I mess up? What if these aren't good? What if I say the wrong thing? And you're totally not alone. If you have those same thoughts, you are absolutely not alone. I have had those same thoughts, and every cookier that I've ever talked to that has taught a class has had those same exact thoughts before they started teaching a class. And here's the truth. Just like we said, these students are not coming to your class expecting perfect cookies. They are not cookie decorators. They're not going to see, wow, she used a different icing technique here, or I can see where she messed up here and she had to redo this section here. They are not even going to notice. You notice those things, but I promise you, they are not going to notice those things. They're coming, again, for that fun experience. They're coming for fun cookies to decorate. They're coming to learn something new. They want to have fun. They want to laugh, and they want the chance to decorate those cookies with you, with someone who knows what they're doing, right? So what beginner students actually want is they want someone to have a great experience. I talk about this a lot in our Cookie Classes to Cash membership, that it's not about, oh my gosh, I gotta have just the right cookie class designs for this, and I gotta have just the right photos. That's not what it's about. It's about this great experience. And you want to create that great experience with them so that they go home and they're like, that was super fun. I want to do that again. I want to tell my friends about it. I want to tell my mom and my sister and my best friend to come back with me and go to another class. So there's 3 things that beginners want. Number 1 is they want simple, fun designs that they can create on their cookies. If you have overcomplicated designs, if you have designs that have multiple steps that might be difficult for beginners, that's going to make it overwhelming. It's going to make it not fun for those students. So you got to remember, you need to have those simple, fun designs. I am the queen of simple, fun designs that are achievable for a beginner, someone who's never picked up a piping bag before. I am very cognizant, like all of our classes in Cookie Classes to Cash are all beginner friendly. They're designed that you can decorate them in 2 to 3 rounds, meaning you are not having all of these extra steps. You're not gonna have to come back 5 times and add an extra layer of icing for this cookie or to add extra details to this cookie. So I want you to remember that when you are getting ready to think about, like, what are you going to be teaching in this class? I also want you to think about, what is that step-by-step guidance without the overwhelm? So how are you going to explain this to them without them feeling overwhelmed? And so I always think about that as I'm writing the instructions for each of our class kits. I want those instructions to be clear. I want them to be concise, because they're not going to understand a lot of our cookie or lingo, right? They just need to understand outline, piping, and flood, right? That's really all that they need to understand. They don't need to understand different hybrid consistencies or craters or icing crusting over, right? They just need to know the basics. And you're going to give them that step-by-step guidance, and that's what they are looking for. Number 3 thing that they are looking for is a friendly, fun environment. They want it to be fun. They want it to be warm and inviting. I love to play music, kind of just like low, especially like for our Christmas classes, playing some Christmas music and just making it fun and lighthearted. They're going to be serious. They're all going to be head down, working really hard and concentrating on that cookie. But if you make it fun and lighthearted for them, they're going to be able to have fun as well. So keep your designs approachable and your instructions super clear, and your students are going to leave feeling very successful, and they're going to want to keep coming back over and over again. And you don't have to be an expert, friends. You don't have to be the best cookie decorator out there to teach classes. It's about having a fun experience and giving your students a very fun experience. And there are 3 things that you need before you teach a class or when you teach a class. Number 1 is you want a set of designs that are achievable. Make sure that the cookies that you're decorating, whether it's 3 cookies or 6 cookies or whatever, make sure that those cookie designs are achievable by someone who's never picked up a piping bag before. And this is unless you're teaching like an intermediate or advanced class. If you're teaching a beginner class, I want you to have that person in your mind and think, whoa, this cookie design, we've got 10 different colors that we're doing, and this is kind of a little hard. We're doing a teardrop method over here. We've got some wet on wet over here. We're doing some piping details over here. I want you to remember that these are people who've never picked up a piping bag before. So they're not going to be familiar with that. So keep it super simple. Keep it super simple. Outlining and flooding, maybe some wet on wet on a couple cookies, and then adding some details. Not overcomplicating those designs. Number 2 is to plan how you're going to walk your students through those steps. You don't want to get to class and be like, well, what cookies should we start with today? You got to have a plan ahead of time so that you know what that class flow is going to look like. You don't have to have a script to know exactly what you're going to say, but I want you to have an idea of what cookie you're going to start with, how it's going to flow. Are you going to decorate one cookie and decorate it from start to finish in one sitting? Or what we do in Cookie Classes to Cash is we do a base flood on all 6 of our cookies in round 1, and then we come back in round 2 and do a second layer, whether we're adding something next to that cookie or like another color next to that color that we just flooded, and so on and so forth, so that it builds, but the student's not overwhelmed when they are decorating that cookie. And number 3, you've got to have a willingness to have fun. You got to make it fun and exciting for them. You don't want them to feel frustrated. You want them to feel accomplished. You want them to feel great about them coming to your cookie class. So when you focus on the experience rather than this cookie perfection, that's when you're going to realize and you're going to be able to get into your groove that you were really more ready than what you initially thought. So if you're waiting for your sign that you are ready, now's your sign. If you would love to join us inside of Cookie Classes to Cash, we would love to have you. It gives you the done for you cookie class kits. So you're not left thinking, man, what do I teach this month? I don't know what to do. I don't know what colors to use. I don't know what designs are beginner friendly. We do all of that for you so that we take all the guesswork out of it and not only give you the class designs and the step-by-step instructions, but we teach you how to get the butts in the seats, which can be the most important part of your class, of how are you promoting that class. So we give you email templates, we give you social media templates, we give you marketing templates so that you can focus on teaching that class and you're not as worried about filling those seats. We are taking care of that for you. So make sure you look below at the link for Cookie Classes to Cash. We'd love to have you inside. I'm teaching a workshop really soon and you're going to hear more about it, but I would love to have you in our Cookie Class boot camp so that you can teach, market, and sell out all of your cookie classes. So come join us. It's going to be great, and I can't wait to see you inside. Let me know if you have questions, but I can't wait to see you guys inside the workshop and definitely inside of Cookie Classes to Cash. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next time.